For this video, we are going to be adding decimals and finding the difference of decimals. So first off, let's add some decimals. So let's say we have 3.2 and we want to add 11.74. Well, it's really easy. All we need to do is stack them and line up the decimals. So first I write 3.2, and then I write 11.74, keeping my columns really well lined up. And I have my decimal points lined up. See how my decimal points lined up? That's the most important part. But I also need to keep every single one of my columns lined up. So the ones columns lined up, the tenths, hundredths, the tens are all lined up. Even though there's nothing here and nothing here, they still line up in columns. So we need to do that. And then we just add. Bring our decimal point down first. Nothing plus 4 is 4. 2 plus 7 is 9. 3 plus 1 is 4. And 1 plus nothing is 1. So our answer is 14.94. So let's take a look at another one. And so here we're taking the adding and difference of decimals. So first we're still concentrating on adding. So let's take 3.45 plus 19.932. So we take 3.45, our first number. We write it being very clear to have separate columns for everything. And we have 19.932. So we're going to have the decimal point and then 19 on the left of the decimal point and then 932. I've got a really big space between those. I've got it spread out quite nicely so that way I can keep my columns lined up. And then we just add it. Now some people like to put in a 0 for the placeholders right there. I personally don't like to do that, but you do whatever works for you. So nothing plus 2 is 2. 5 plus 3 is 8. 4 plus 9 is 13. So we're going to write the 3 there and carry the 1 right in our decimal because that goes there. And now we have 1 plus 3 is 4, plus the 9 is 13. Carry the 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. And so we have 23.382. That's how we add decimals. Now to find the difference of decimals, if I want to find the difference between two decimals, let's say I have a decimal 13.7 and I also have a decimal of 2.98. Well, finding the difference, I take the largest number. I take the largest number. In this case, it's 13.7. And I put it on top. And then I take the smallest number and I line up the decimal. And I subtract to find the difference. Now, in this case, I do like to append a 0 in there because it makes it easier when I have to borrow and things like that. 0 take away 8. We can't do that, so we need to borrow. So this becomes a 6 and this becomes 10. So 10 take away 8 is 2. Well, 6 take away 9, we can't do that, so we have to borrow. That becomes a 2 and that becomes a 16. 16 take away 9 is 7. And we have our decimal point. And now we have 2 take away 2, which is 0. And then 1 take away nothing, which is 1. So the answer is 10.72 is the difference between 13.7 and 2.98. Now notice, I am saying the word difference. And there's a very specific reason that I'm not saying subtraction, is because I want to find the difference or the distance between the two numbers. So let's take a look at another example. How about 0.84 4 and 7.32. So I want to find the difference of those. And if you remember, when I'm finding the difference, I take the bigger number. And so the bigger number in this case is 7.32. And I stack that one on top. And then I put the smaller number underneath. And in this case, I don't have to append any zeros. There's nothing to append. And I subtract. 2 take away 4 can't be done, so I borrow. I get 12 take away 4, which is 8. 2 take away 8 cannot be done, so I borrow. And I get 12 take away 8, which is 4, my decimal point. And then 6 take away 0 is 6. So the difference of 0.84 and 7.32 is 6.48. So remember, to add them, you just stack them. And it's okay if you want to stack the bigger number on top on adding. But it doesn't matter which one's on top for adding. But when you find the difference, you stack them and then subtract the two numbers. And make sure with the difference, you're stacking the bigger number on top. So to find the difference, you stack the bigger number on top, the smaller number on the bottom, and then subtract them to find the difference. Thanks.